A few years ago, I was attending a concert, a Christmas concert of the Singers, and I heard them perform an arrangement of Jocelyn's O Come, O Come, Emmanuel. And I was so struck by her ability to take this somewhat tired symbol of Advent and break it open and make it new again. And this is something that I think is important for any composer of sacred music. It's important because our symbols can get tired and they'll lose their vitality and their relevance. And this is what made me so impressed by Jocelyn as a composer. And it was at this time that I decided to approach her and talk to her about the possibility of interpreting Night of Silence.
Well, it's not too common to get a request from another composer to take their existing work and rearrange it for new forces. So this was quite an honor to be asked to do that. I had known Night of Silence for a long time. I had sung it before and had a wonderful experience with it.
Well, like a lot of people, Night of Silence is a song that meant a lot to me growing up. In the parish I grew up, it was a piece that symbolized for us the end of the Advent season and the start of the Christmas worship services.
This arrangement is not a typical sing-along version of Night of Silence that you might expect. One of the reasons that I think that makes it such a strong piece is it allows it to explore the emotional landscape and the expectant darkness that Advent is all about. Think of Black Friday and stores opening at midnight on Thanksgiving Day. That's all about Christmas, and that's a leapfrog over one of the most beautiful seasons to me, and that's Advent. And so, Night of Silence, at its heart, was born in the darkness and needs to speak to the darkness and celebrate that darkness before one can really come into the light and experience it fully.
One of my biggest stumbling blocks when I was working on this piece was thinking about the idea of expectation. So many people know this work. They've sung it for years. It's part of their Christmas tradition. And they all know the part when the silent night comes in at the end and how fulfilling that moment is. And so I had to decide, how am I going to treat that? And is it going to be a moment when the congregation or the audience sings along, or is it going to be something that is saved for just the singers on stage? And eventually I decided that I was going to do the unexpected, that the singers were going to continue it on their own, and that instead of participating at that level, it was going to be a more reflective experience as an audience member, and something that I think is more meditative in its quality.
Well, I got the score and I called Jocelyn about 3 times, and what about this, and what about this, and what about this? I actually felt protective of the piece a little bit. And then at the first reading with the singers, I realized that, again, with great source material and with an inventive spirit, a new version of Night of Silence was born. And if you're somebody who's looking for music for the Advent and Christmas season, music that harkens the familiar but also shares some of the new, I recommend very highly Jocelyn's wonderful new arrangement of Dan's masterpiece, Night of Silence.